Da, 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 da. Hello, everyone. My name is Max McGillivray from Beanstalk Global. Today is Friday in the end of May, and thank the Lord, we've had some rain. So we've got some happy farmers out there, and what a crazy world we are in UK and international agriculture at the moment. But we always like a challenge. And on that side of liking a challenge, we're here to promote live on LinkedIn, live on Facebook, live on Twitter, live on YouTube, and also on our podcast series. We're here to promote hashtag Agri-Leadership Week 2022. This is an inspirational campaign set up by a number of groups that have come together to promote the ag leadership element that we'll just come on to a little bit later. If there's one thing I've learned over the last couple of years in our sector, whilst we've gone through everything that we've gone through and yet more to come, collaboration. We all need to collaborate to create the success that we want individually and for the success of the sectors. So Agri-Leadership Week 2022. I'm just going to read my notes because my 16-year-old has nicked my auto prompter for his own TikTok account. So excuse me for reading on a whiteboard behind. The cross-organizational campaign to raise awareness of leadership training across the agricultural career spectrum is taking place between the 16th to the 20th of May 2022. The hashtag Agri-Leadership Week is back. And the Ag Leadership Consortium, the ALC, we will discuss in the detail a little bit later, and the various groups within it, have done an amazing job to create and promote the initiative for yet another year. The purpose of the week is to promote the importance of leadership, to develop businesses and organizations, and to motivate people working in the agri-food sectors. The week highlights opportunities for those engaged in agriculture and food to develop the professional management and leadership skills at whatever stage they are in their careers. It will be no surprise to many of you that our industry lags some way behind its peers in terms of leadership development and investment in leadership training. And hashtag Agri-Leadership Week aims to promote the importance of leadership in successful business, organization, and team development, from the small family farm to the large corporate agribusiness. In a 21st century knowledge-based economy, attracting and retaining the most talented human capital to our industry is fundamental. So that's why we need to get behind Agri-Leadership Week, and not just for the week, for the year and for the years ongoing. So what we need to do is just to emphasize the importance of this and to bring in some key individuals who've been instrumental behind Ag Leadership Week, but also for us to learn from what they've learned in the sectors and how they're looking to develop themselves and also their teams around them. So on that basis, can I call in all of our experts, please? Let's see who we've got today. So if everyone can turn on their videos. And so we're just going to run round everyone in no particular order. Let's go with Chris first. Chris, say hello to everyone.
Hi, guys.
Chris, who are you and where do you come from?
So I'm Chris Taylor, and I'm an agronomist in Monmouthshire.
Excellent. Okay. Let's just, Chris. It's a serious question. How's cropping looking at the moment?
Yeah, very good. As you said earlier, desperately needed that rain, so a lot of potential here now with good prices.
Excellent. And you've got happy farmers on your books?
Hope so. Yeah.
Whenever is there a happy farmer, it's either too wet or too dry, but generally we're all happy. Christine, who are you and where are you from today? Who are you representing today?
I'm representing quite a few things. I chair it, so that's they're one of the supporters of the programme. I'm a member of the Worshipful Company of Farmers who sponsors some great leadership courses, but I'm also a trustee of the Farmers Club Charitable Trust who put quite a lot of funding up this week. So I'm involved in this with lots of hats on.
And in your background, you've seen that the training and development element has been so important for the businesses that you've either been in or and represent.
I think people sometimes forget I actually never started in the farming industry, and it was quite normal in all the businesses I used to work in, whether it be with Coates or with Mars Confectionery, Vodafone, that people just went on training courses. And it's almost like every time you did your annual appraisal, you were talking about what's the development and how are you keeping my career moving and what training am I going to do? And I felt that's something that we're not very good at in the farming industry. And at Co-op Farms, I very much tried to bring that in and discovered all sorts of fantastic courses. We had people doing Nuffield, we had people on the Frank Arden Scholarship. We also found the John Edgar Trust, found the Duchy of Cornwall. Everywhere I looked, there were fantastic courses for me to put people on. And really, this week is about promoting all of the courses together. So everybody that's doing leadership is working together to promote it. And as I'm sure Mark from AHDB will tell you, that the stats on the amount of people who do leadership training in our industry is appalling.
Yes, but we can change that. Mark, over to you. Who are you? Who are you representing? Why are you involved in Ag Leadership Week, please?
So I'm Mark Campbell from AHDB, and I look after our Agri-Leader program, which is our leadership and management offer to levy payers. And I suppose we at AHDB, we've been one of the partners that have helped steer this. And I suppose, like Christine says, the old proverb, which if you walk alone, you walk fast, but if you walk together, you walk far. And that's the kind of the aim of this consortium and this group is to share the journey and to promote the development in leadership and management wider.
And Mark, it just shows how successful the group is, because you've had 2, 3, 4 new businesses come in to look to assist this year.
Yeah, no, we've tried to grow the consortium, and we've had several new. The Oxford Farming Conference have joined us, as well as the Farmers Weekly and then the NFU, just to help and support and to promote that message wider, to get involved.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. There's a real momentum building, and in some respects, we even need more PR. Anyone here got a PR background? Kendra?
I might have one of those, yeah.
Who are you? Who do you represent, please?
So I'm Kendra Hall. I'm calling in from Salisbury in South Wiltshire. I'm a 2022 Nuffield Scholar and a member of the Oxford Farming Conference Inspire program. And in my day job, I work in agricultural PR and communications for Reverberate PR.
Okay, and just give us a little bit more information about Reverberate. What gigs what conferences, what events have you assisted with recently, please?
Yeah, so we're a specialist agri-food specialist PR agency. We work with stakeholders up and down the supply chain, from dairy to beef to arable. Most recently, we helped out with the Llama Show, which we're very pleased to say was a good success after being moved back for so many years after COVID. So that's been really fun. We also work with, feed suppliers and milk processors, and work with all sorts of organizations, so every day is different.
Excellent. And I've got to ask this because the team love us joking around a little bit with everyone. Are you excited, Kendra, about it being Top Gun being launched this week, next week? Are you excited about?
Of course I am. Of course I am. My husband's a pilot, so it's a part of the obligation.
and so the question is, you've just fallen into my trap. What's the call sign of your husband? He being a professional pilot.
Oh, well, he wishes he was Maverick.
Really? Don't we all? I'm just Goose. Watch me go down and smoke. Right, who have we got next? Will, who are you? Who are you representing, please?
Hi, I'm Will Oliver, and I'm a 4th generation family farm from Leicestershire. So just representing myself, basically, I suppose.
Excellent. Tell us about your farm and tell us about your Rhodesian Ridgeback outside, please.
Yeah, so family farm, 2,000 acres arable. We've also got a state-of-the-art broiler unit and quite a nice little glamping business as well.
Oh, have you? Who came up with the glamping idea?
It was just on a farm that we took on last year, and so we run it as a family. It's like 6 safari tents with roll-top baths and hot tubs. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Fantastic. Right, we'll be with you by 7 o'clock tonight, as long as you've got the as long as you've got the heated pool.
Yeah, perfect. I'll be there.
Excellent. And we'll just out of curiosity, you could have gone off to do anything. You could have gone off into sports. You could have gone into corporate life within the city. You could have travelled overseas. Why did you go back into the farm? Did you feel pressure to come back into the farm, or if we cut you in half, do you read farming? Do you read agriculture? Why?
Yeah, I've never been pressured to come back into the farm, but it's always been there. It was never an option not to come back to the farm in terms of what I wanted. So you grow up on it. It's where you live and work, and it is a lifestyle rather than just a job. And they say that you should enjoy. If you can enjoy work, life's a lot easier, and I definitely enjoy work. So.
Yeah, excellent. And that's one thing we'll come on to, I expect, in a little bit, is that could we accuse agriculture of being a little bit siloed? That if you look at the likes of Harper, Cirencester, Reading, Bristol, other universities are available, that it does seem to be the entry of students coming in do seem to come from the farming community. And if we could do more to get more urban younger individuals to come in to understand, well, how exciting, how brilliant a life it is to be within agriculture and to be trained up within it. To me, that's another element for Ag Leadership Week that I'd really be keen to achieve, to gain that attraction as well as training everyone up within us. So, well, thank you. So Lisa, we've left you to the end, and I hope that your internet has sorted a little bit. Lisa, over to you. Who are you and who are you representing, please?
And Lisa, I'm the Farmers Club Charitable Trust.
Keep going.
It's still not good. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry. I tell you what, Lisa. Why didn't you have another go? Just switching your internet on and off. Everyone, you know the jeopardy. We've all been here with Zoom and team meetings as things come and go. So Lisa, we're still with you, and we'll just see how your internet shakes out. So guys, let's go into the nuts and bolts of Ag Leadership Week. Mark, can we just go into a little bit more detail as to who are the groups? Who are the Ag Leadership Consortium behind it? Because we need to promote them because they're taking time out of their busy work schedules to take a sort of an unpaid role to promote the sector. Who else is involved, please, Mark?
The main partners which are in the group are the Nuffield Farming Scholarship, the Institute of Agricultural Managers, the Management Development Scheme, MDS, that Christine represents, the Farmers Club Charitable Trust, the Worshipful Company of Farmers, the Institute of Agriculture and Horticulture, TIAH, and the Oxford Farming Conference under the Inspire programme.
Excellent. And Mark, with your eclectic
and us, of course,
and the AHDB, Mark, with your eclectic background of farming, of lecturership at the likes of Plumpton, and now your commercial role within the AHDB, do you recognise this lack of training and development in the sector, or do you think it's a case by case basis? What do you think?
No, I think the world that is Mark and my personal opinion, as an industry, we're pretty good at developing technically. Where the issue lies, and we confirmed this last year with a piece of research that we did called the Bridging the Gap report, is that the industry massively lacks in terms of the development of their leadership and management. The figure that we're bound around is 0.34% of people involved in UK agriculture actually participate on an annual basis in developing their leadership and management skills. And again, the world that is Mark Campbell, I truly believe that the challenges that are facing the industry currently and are coming down the track, the kitchen sink, the garden shed are being chucked at us. The one common denominator between that is people, and developing your leadership and management is going to be one of those solutions to actually overcoming these challenges and moving forward.
Excellent. So let's look at not trying to create a specialist here, but let's look at just Will and Chris initially. Will, Chris, training and development, for your development in your roles, do you see that as a very important aspect to further your career, or is it just something that you look at, that you peruse at on a Friday afternoon? Chris, you go first.
Yeah, no, it's been very important for me. I'm actually not from a family farm or from a farming background at all. So fringe of a city when I was brought up. Harper Adams grad with Will actually. Yeah, and CPD has been very important for me to probably get over that, I suppose what you call imposter syndrome of coming into the industry. It's been very important for me to get to where I am at the moment, and it never stops, hopefully.
Excellent. Will?
Yeah, I'd say like professional development's crucial to me as a way of getting off farm and getting out of my comfort zone. Bringing new ideas back to the family business, networking, it all comes together, and it's actually very important to get out of your comfort zone, meet new people, and just don't be afraid to try these courses and different things, because there's so many out there, and they're all unique in their own way, and they all add value. Yeah, that's
well said. Well, and we'll be interested to see what you think. That I speak to a number of people who've gone on a number of these courses, and that the course content is very important, but it's actually the networking element at the bar other locations are available, that you suddenly find out that these people who are sort of non-conflicting with you, but they've got the same issues, and actually a lot of people got the potential solutions because they've been there before you, a couple of years before, so they know what the problems are, and they can sort of advise you. Are you seeing the same thing? It's not just the course content, it's the networking, it's the conversations that you're having as part of that course structure.
Yeah, definitely. And like just yesterday, I came back from Brussels, went with the NFU Serial Development Programme, 15 of us, and we've just had a whale of a time learning and making friends. So yeah.
Excellent. And just so we can get an understanding, Will, for the courses that you're doing, who instigated it? Who said we'll go on this course? Was that you yourself? Or did you have a mentor? Did you have someone within the family that said, "Will, you need to go do this"? What was the catalyst, please? No,
it's definitely off my own back, but it's like I said, it's just nice to get off farm, but it's still work. So you can meet new people and just, like I say, get out of your comfort zone.
Okay, and the family, the business endorsed that?
Yeah, definitely. And I would encourage my younger brother or anyone within the business to get out there and keep learning.
Yeah, excellent. Kendra, Nuffield, why?
What a question, Max. I think I've worked with Nuffield in my professional position for a while, and as part of that, I was able to actually see firsthand the impact that experience had on the scholars who went through it. I think, kind of going off of what Chris said earlier, I come from a rural but non-farming background. I'm also from the US, so I came into this industry about 4 years ago, and what I was really looking for was a community and a place to expand my horizons and really get to know this industry on a really intimate level. And that is where the true value of the programs that I've been involved with has been in the people and the connections and the friendships. It's really given me a lot of confidence, and that confidence to really step outside of my comfort zone when it comes to my career.
Excellent. And for those that aren't immediately associated with the ag sector or dialing in from overseas, just give us the elevator pitch for Nuffield, please.
Right. Okay. So the Nuffield Farming Scholarships Trust, it's international. They have about 10 countries that they're involved in, but I'm obviously going through the UK program. It's basically a bursary that's given to aspiring leaders or promising individuals within the agricultural sector and affiliated industries. And you get a bursary to go travel the world and speak to experts on a topic that you're really passionate about. And the whole idea is you go and you speak to these people and you get their experiences and you bring all of that knowledge that you've gained back to UK agriculture and share that with the rest of the industry.
Would you recommend it?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
So Christine, just with Kendra, with Chris, and with Will and Mark, we would look like the sector is in safe hands. But why have we got this fundamental issue of lack of training and development within the agri-food sectors, do you think, within the UK, Christine?
Well, we're not short of courses to do.
No.
There's a huge amount of opportunity, and that's what all of our businesses are actually coming together to say, we've got this, we've got that, we've got the other. And, even with Farmers Club Charitable Trust, I'm sure that Lisa would have said that we've actually got £40,000 of grants, and we're giving them away in anything between £1,000 and £2,000 for people who just say, actually, I'd quite like to go and see what they're doing in broiler chickens in Holland, or just somebody to say, I'd want to go and learn something. We're just trying to encourage people. But I think there's this, first of all, a lot of people don't think they're leaders. They think that leaders are running big corporations. And I would say that a one-man business is actually going to benefit from going on a leadership program as well, because everybody has interactions with other people, and how you work with other people and how you encourage other people is all terribly important, even if they're not your employees. So I would say everyone's a leader. So don't let anybody think my business is too small. I don't need, I can't do leadership training. And the other thing is that nobody has got time for training. You just got to tell yourself it's important, and I'm going to make the time, and it's going to be absolute hell in the week before you go, and it's going to be hell in the week when you come back. But what you will learn on it will make you so much better at your job and will pay for itself. I think Mark, you put up one of these figures. Every pound you spend on training, you get £13 of benefit. You almost think, well, how can you afford not to go and be trained? So everybody is a leader. Everybody will learn something. And there's a huge range of courses from the MDS, which is a 2-year training program where we'll take somebody straight out of university with no knowledge of our food and farming industry at all, and take them through a program which will then put them on 2 years work experience with qualifications to go into it as a career. And right at the other end, we've got something like our snapshot studies when someone says, can I have £1,000 to go and visit a few farms somewhere else and learn something?
Yeah, so we've got all these courses available, whether it be Nuffield or the likes of the snapshot bursary offer that's coming through from Lisa. So the issue is there are some businesses and individuals who just aren't looking to engage in training and development. Mark, help me, because you and I have talked about this on other broadcasts, and I always roll out my example of Cranfield University have this great graph that showed that those companies that invest in training and development have better profitability, better increased turnover, and better staff retention. But then, Mark, why do some businesses not get it? That there are these courses, and in some respects, they're free money to put people on the courses. Mark, why do some businesses don't grasp that?
Before I answer that question, before I get sued, we mustn't forget, in terms of partners, as the Farmers Weekly, the Rural Agricultural Universities and also the NFU as key partners within this organisation.
Don't worry, they'll come after me, not you. Don't worry.
That's all good. But in terms of that, the answer to that question, I think, like I said, the industry is facing huge amounts of challenges, and the point Christine made about people don't believe that they lead. Their leaders, which everyone leads and manages on a day-to-day basis, whether it's the apprentice within the business and whether it's the owner operator. We all lead and manage on a day-to-day basis. And I think with that connotation that we don't believe that we're leaders, and with the challenges that they're facing, I just feel that this kind of subject and this kind of element drops down the priority list. And then because of the time factor, it never actually happens. And what we want to try and do with Agri-Leadership Week and bringing together all the various organisations and the various courses, there's so much out there that to raise that awareness and to give people the opportunity to actually make that first step and that intention.
Excellent. So I'm just going to pull on our younger generation again. Kendra, Will, Chris, if you were at a farming conference, so let's go for one of the key partners involved with this. Say there's a joint conference with the NFU and the fantastic Farmers Weekly, and you had an opportunity to talk to those 500 people there, and half of them aren't really engaged with training and development. What would you say to those individuals that you've got them for a few minutes? What would you say to really pump up their tires as to why they need to engage with the likes of Agri-Leadership Week with training and development to make their farming businesses or the supply businesses better? How would you engage with them in that format? Come on, Will, over to you first.
I think like what was said earlier about the £13 after £1 of training makes you £13. If you put a monetary value on it, that makes people's heads turn. Yes. But also, so that's a good starting point. But you can't force people to do it. If they want to better themselves and improve themselves, they won't take much persuading. And if you put it out there like we are doing this week and so forth, I think people will engage in it, because most young farmers that I come across, they all want to get better and improve themselves. And I'm sure, like Chris would agree, we were at Harper together, and we always stumble across other people who are in our year at Harper doing similar things.
Yeah. Kendra, go on, you got the stage. You're in front of these 500 farmers. What would you say?
I think I would actually turn the question around and ask people to give me a really good reason why they wouldn't do something like this. Because to me, you have everything to gain, and I can't think of one thing that you have to lose by going for one of these programs. There's such a wide range of them available for people at various places in their careers, or the resources that they have available to them. I just don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, well done. No pressure, Chris.
Yeah, I think we've got some real challenges as an industry coming up, and it's about being collaborative and innovative and working together to get over these challenges, not considering other farmers as your competition. It's that collaborative approach. I think that's really important going forward.
Excellent. So what do we want to see from Agri-Leadership Week? I always give the example of the engineering sector, and you'll probably start to see it now that I've talked about it. But every year they come out with a campaign as to why the younger generation should look at engineering as a career focused path, and why they should go to university or do an apprenticeship on engineering. And they bring out a young man and a young lady, and they always deploy themselves at Christy, like this, at someone like McLaren or Rolls-Royce engines, and it really gets the interest. But we don't have anything like that within agriculture. Or we do, because we do now within the Agri-Leadership Week. Christine, you've been out of sector, now in sector, and you're incredibly worldly wise with the work that you've done within government and within business. What is the magic dust here to get this sector more excited about training and development?
I think to communicate what our industry is. I'm sick to death of people having television adverts with farmers, almost. I mean, I think I've seen within the last 5 years with farmers with string tied around their trousers to stop the rats running up, and chewing a piece of straw. And you just think we just need to promote technology in our industry and the massive range of jobs. And we need PR people, we need human resources people, we need accountants. It's not just the farmers and the agronomists that we need. The range of our industry is enormous, and I don't think we really got together as an industry to promote what it is that we do. And I think even with MDS, when we do careers fairs, when we do the virtual ones, we sort of sit there and nobody comes into our room. When we go to the physical fairs and we've got this massive backdrop of fresh produce and farms and stuff like that, then people come and say, well, what's all this about? We say, well, it's the food industry. Well, I'm not a farmer. You don't need to be a farmer. You can come into the industry. And we get people with bioarchaeology and music production and geography degrees coming and joining us. And I think, we're not very, it's so difficult to promote our sector, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't. And it doesn't help when we are very often portrayed as rather backward.
And Christine, Mark, Lisa, myself, we've attended so many meetings over the last 20, 25 years on this subject. Because we've got this amazing opportunity with Kendra, Will, and Chris. Guys, what do you think is the solution? We've tried for 20 years to increase the awareness of the opportunities and the training ability within the sector. What do you think is the magic dust to make this sector even more attractive? Kendra?
Well, I think honestly, it's about going to where the people are that we want to attract. I think it's about getting really engaging people with engaging stories in front of students that are not from rural areas, that are from maybe minority backgrounds. It's about going to where those people are rather than expecting them to come to us.
Okay, Will.
I think historically in our industry, people have been afraid to get off farm. They would see that as, I'm not working if I leave the farm. So and they have to work every hour under the sun, and it's getting away from that mentality. Pull yourself away from the farm, go away. Some of these courses are a few nights, or they might be for a week, but you come back and you're almost like got a fresh start again, and it just gives you a new lease of life, and you can put so much more energy into your business or into your job, and you'll benefit so much from just getting away for a few days.
Excellent. Chris?
I think it's about having role models to sort of look at and examples, as Kendra said, perhaps, where people have come into the industry and gone through schemes like MDS, or I was fortunate enough to go to the Co-op Farms Management Scheme.
Oh, did you? Which
Christine was involved in. It sets you up, for the rest of your life, really. It's about giving people those examples and showing them what can be done given the right training.
Excellent.
Can I just say something, Max? I just wanted to say that we've really got to big ourselves up about what we can do with sustainability. It is absolutely key for the generation that are at university at the moment. They're all worrying about whether there's going to be a planet there for themselves, let alone their grandchildren. And I think talking about the role that farming's got to play in sustainability, the role that technology's got to have in farmers, and the fact that we need leaders and we need people who think outside the box and are different, are ways of actually attracting people. But as Kendra was saying, we've got to get in front of these people and get the messages out, which works when we go to careers fairs. But getting people coming to us is actually really hard. We've got to put ourselves out there to these people.
Yeah, and I've just had a WhatsApp from an individual saying, Max, talk about the positives and knowing the context of this. I do think we're in an amazing spot at the moment, because there's a lot of people over the last couple of years who now want to have a role, a career that is not involving commuting into London and flogging insurance, or other roles available, but to be involved in the countryside, whether that be on a pure farming basis or on a services basis. And you might not earn the money that you did in the city, but by crikey, you're going to be a lot more happy than you would be being a ghost on a train for a collective 4 or 5 hours a day. So I think we're seeing a number of people coming into the sector, and they're very peaked in the interest, as Christine just said, around the sustainability element. So actually to come into a sector and to do good is another advantage. I think the sector is definitely coming to us on that basis. Mark, do you agree?
I think you're right. It's all about telling that story and providing that opportunity, because people and society's lives, I look at my children and my son in terms of what they want out of life and where they want to go, and Will's very, very right. For me as an individual, I'm complete townie. I'm the odd one out in my family. I wanted to milk cows. My brothers and my father are all precision engineers, which I did go down the engineering route, but then reverted back because I wanted to milk cows. But it was that I was the odd one out. I was the one, I just had a passion, but I was the odd one out in terms of my philosophy, but I could see what the industry could offer. I didn't want to work in an office, but breaking those barriers in terms of that the industry doesn't have to work 120 hours a week, and it's not just about the straw hat and the piece of straw and sticking your hand up the back end of a cow like James Herriot. There's so many opportunities out there which will meet that sustainability piece and help solve the various challenges that face us ahead.
Yeah, I'm smiling like a Cheshire cat this end. Jeremy, I can't read your details in full, but there's a lovely guy called Jeremy Gibbs who looks to train ex-military people to come into the ag sectors. And you think of the folk in the military, some of them have had hundreds of thousands of pounds of training development poured into them, and to bring them into the sector, either into mainstream farming or on the supply side, there's so many opportunities. Can you imagine having someone like that from the forces in your business, and how they could positively develop your business to the next stage? Go, Christine.
I've got to say that MDS has just expanded itself out of just recruiting graduates. We're also now looking for non-graduates, with people maybe on second careers, and we've got a particular focus on ex-military. So someone who's been through the military, we will take them into MDS. They will get 4-6 month experience in our food industry anywhere across it, from farming through to retail. And we'll train them on operations and processes generally, because they've already got leadership training. But if they haven't, we'll do the leadership training. But we're particularly trying to get people from ex-forces and train them up for our industry as well.
Excellent. Jeremy, look at MDS, Management Development Services, engage with Christine, engage with Kirsty, who's having a large coffee, which I'll be sharing with her later. Lisa, we've got to try you. We've got to try your internet. We've been missing you. Come on, Lisa, let's go for this. Let's do a sound test. Lisa, are you with us? Is the internet working?
Let's get working now. I hope so. I hope so.
It's better. The floor is yours. Go for it. And it's not working. Lisa, we'll get there. We're gonna have someone to cover for you. And if that doesn't work, you and I are going to do an individual broadcast on this with you, because this is so important. We need to get your message over. Right, everyone, I'm going to set you a challenge. With my recruitment hat on yesterday, I presented a shortlist for a farm manager role that I'm working on for a client. And that client stated to me that they're really keen to get this new farm manager in, but they don't know how to engage with training and development for them and their business. And this is a sort of a fairly standard farm. Is it 2,000 hectares of heavy land? Employ 3-4 people on a full-time basis. Number of casuals, couple of the family involved with the business, so they don't know how to engage with training and development. So I'm just going to run around you with this scenario to see how you would go about that. So Mark, let's start with you. So you've got this farm who's engaged, wants to go down the training development route, but doesn't know where to start. It's been a bit dyslexic about the whole thing. Mark, what would your advice be to them, please?
I suppose there's one or two things. Firstly, talk. Farmers learn most from farmers. So talk to fellow farmers around the area that that have got some kind of training and development package or are investing in training within their staff to find out how they did it. On the other side, I'll talk to the team, find out what they want to do and what they need to do, other than the kind of core legislative stuff like first aid and health and safety, which is hugely important, but find out from the team what they actually, where they want to progress themselves and where they see themselves in the business.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea, because actually the answers are quite often with the team, aren't they? You could be very prescriptive and say, right, you're going to have to do a software course, but no, actually, John, Dick, Fred, Harry, Michelle, I want to do my PA1, I want to do my PA2, I want to better myself. Chris, what would your advice be in that scenario, please?
Yeah, I think Mark's right. You've got to ask the individual, and there's not one sort of solution for everyone. It's working out what people want to improve on, what they're lacking or what they feel they're lacking confidence in, and really focusing on that. Bring them up to a level they're comfortable with.
Excellent. Kendra.
Well, I would echo exactly what Mark and Chris have said, but I think in addition to that, there's a lot of really good information on the internet about different training programs that are available. I know AHDB has a page on their Agri-Leadership website that links over to kind of an outline of all of the different programs that are in the industry, and just reading through and trying to get information and speak to people who have done them and find out what they've benefited from. There's just a lot of information out there, and you just need to get through it.
Excellent. And there's a bit of a sideways question that's just in. Kendra, with your Nuffield scholarship, was your work okay for you to take time out of work for you to engage with Nuffield?
Yes, they were. My Reverberate and my Phil Gibson has been massively supportive of me going through this. It's obviously a huge commitment as far as time goes, but I think he sees the value that I can then bring back to our company through the experiences that I have. So yes, they've been hugely supportive.
Yeah, and on WhatsApp, they said, is Phil the tall, good-looking one? We'll leave that one.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Quickly moving on. Will, what would you do with that scenario? You must see this with local farmers to you. And Will, you might actually look to lead those farmers. Come on, let's do some, engage with your team. You could do so much. What would you do?
I would do baby steps. So if someone is reluctant to learn, maybe and go off farm, you could do something simple like start a discussion group with your local farmers.
I love it.
Yeah, just something simple, get the ball rolling, and then and it depends on what they've already got. And then there's things like basis and facts, which can really push their career on. And then you just go from there. But you've got to, every individual's different, every course is different, and you've got to meet their needs. But I think little discussion groups, WhatsApp groups with other growers, there's lots of things you can do out there just to engage with other farmers.
Excellent. I love that baby steps analogy. Christine, you just put up a website. Do you want to just shout that out, please?
Yeah, well, through the Royal Agricultural Society's awards, they've got a leadership tab, and they've got this tab, What's Right for Me? And it tells you all about the individual courses and what they do, how much time commitment they are, which will help people see at what stage they are. And so this is something we've all put together to try and signpost people. And I believe that TIA are going to try and do something eventually when they've got their website set up, so people can easily find which course actually is right for them. But I also wanted to say that please don't be put off by money. Some of these courses are, £5,000-6,000. There are a huge number of grants, and if you go through, Worshipful Company of Farmers is one of the bodies that actually gives people grants to go on courses. But if you find a course you want and approach them, they will help you find a sponsor for it. A lot of the Nuffield ones are sponsored, I think, Kendra, aren't they? But please don't get put off by the money. Find the course that's right for you, then fight for it, and you'll probably find a way to do it.
Go Kendra.
I was just going to clarify with Nuffield, it's a completely fully funded program, so there are no upfront costs for anyone who gets one.
Yeah. Okay. Can old gits like me and Mark go on it?
I think there is an age limit of 43, if I'm
That's
correct.
Fine. Mark, we're in.
I'm in still.
But then there is the Frank Arden Trust. Every time you look, you find that there's a solution. You have to ask 3 different people, but you will find something. If you're determined enough to do it, there's a course for you.
Yes, I just want to do Nuffield to enjoy the parties.
But that is part of the Nuffield.
I know. Mark, can we just re-emphasize this point that the bit I get, like I did yesterday, was, what's this going to cost me? And it's like, ROI, return of investment. You've just invested 400,000 on a blinking great big new combine, which is going to sit idle for 9 months of the year. If you invest in a team member, and if it costs 5,000, 10,000, but it gives you back 40, 50, 60,000, and you get to retain Johnny or Lucinda, because they're really happy to have that training. It's good. You're going to have them for the long term. So it's a no-win. Mark, can you just reiterate that figure that you stated earlier about the money element of training within the sector?
Yeah, so I think the £1 investment in terms of a £13 return referred to, so the program that Will sat on, which is our AHDB professional management development scheme, was where we evaluated to see where the return on, because like Will said, and like everyone said, if you've got a monetary value on there, it does help the intention to actually take that step and join onto the program. So it's well worth making that step, with the benefit to the business, but also the other benefits like the networking and the connection with other people.
Goes with that saying. So anyone listening who's worried, who's an employer or for themselves, who's worried about taking time out of the business, you need to develop yourself. Short-term pain, long-term gain through the likes of engaging with Agri-Leadership Week. So we've heard through the powers that be that Lisa's internet is all fixed, and that she's coming in. She's only 40 minutes behind the rest of us, not through her fault, through the fault of the internet. So let's try this. Lisa Turner, who are you? Who are you representing?
Right, okay. After missing so much, I hope I'm going to catch up here. Right, so my name is Lisa Turner. I am the ambassador for the Farmers Club Charitable Trust. My day job, I do some agricultural consultancy work. I've got a bed and breakfast at home. So yeah, always busy. So I'm not sure how much Christine's covered on the snapshot studies initiative from the Farmers Club Trust, but I think that's really important to get over today. Is the Farmers Club Charitable Trust is celebrating its 40th year, and as part of that, it's offering £40,000 worth of snapshot study funding for anybody within the agricultural industry or allied industries to apply for. And we've had different themes each day of the week of Agri-Leadership Week. So there is a really broad scope of topics and themes to apply for. The applications have been open since the 16th of May. They close on the 27th of May. Quick turnaround on decisions by the 10th of June, and then submissions by the 10th of September. And that can be a little bit discretionary if somebody wants to go on a course that's after that date or going on event or anything. So that's a little bit discretionary. But, the Farmers Club Trust are really dedicated to training and education within the sector. And I think this initiative just absolutely is fantastic.
And Lisa, we've made it really easy to enter, haven't we? Just give us a 1-minute video of why you want some money for something, and then obviously we have a page of your details, and then when you finished it, we asked you to do a 3-minute video of what you learned from it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Christine. Really easy and dead simple to complete and fill in, and I've already had quite a few applications, so just keep them coming in. It's fantastic.
Excellent. Everyone, what a tour de force that was. That was worth waiting 38 minutes for, Lisa, for you to come in and basically steal the show for the rest of us. Yes. And just in case I missed it, how can we engage? How can we engage with that again, please? How can we find it on social media?
Yeah, so if you follow the hashtag Agri-Leadership Week, or if you go directly to the Farmers Club Charitable Trust website at www.tfcct.co.uk, that has got a whole page full of information on there. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You will find us, I'm sure. If not, just contact me directly and I can point you in the right direction.
Excellent. Well done. That's brilliant to get you in. That worked really well. And everyone, just as we're starting to wrap up, I've just the team have just messaged me about use the Top Gun example. But coming back to Kendra, so Kendra, we're going to pull on this thread again. But it is in some ways a bit jingoistic, but serious. That when Top Gun came out, Mark, when was it? 20 years ago? 30 years ago?
A bit longer than that, Max.
but the reason for saying that was that when Top Gun came out, the US Navy saw a 230% application rate of people, no surprise, who wanted to become Top Gun pilots. So we need to get more people interested in becoming Top Gun pilots within the within agriculture as a whole. So the team want to know what your call sign is going to be when we wrap up. What's your call sign for you individually for Agri-Leadership Week? And we're going to give Kendra, obviously, she's going to be Mav on that basis. So come on, everyone. What do we want to see? What's the success that we want to see from Agri-Leadership Week, not just for 2022, but ongoing, 5 years, 10 years out? Come on, Chris, let's start with you. What's the success that you want to see for this training and development ongoing within the ag sectors? Chris?
I'd say for me, it's people that don't feel like they've got a place in the industry, having the confidence to come in and take advantage of all the roles that are available in this country. I think it's a really exciting industry, some of that innovative thinking coming in, and people that are not afraid to challenge the norm.
Excellent. I've just had a message in from a contact of a contact who's not in the sector. Can I engage with Chris? I want to find out more about agronomy because I want to get out of my dull career and I'd love to do something in agriculture. Can that person contact you, Chris?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Crop Walker Chris on Twitter. It's probably the easiest.
Oh, Chris, just say that again. Bark it out.
Crop Walker Chris on Twitter.
Right, there you go. 250,000 followers in the next 5 minutes. Will, over to you. What's the success that you want to see?
I think ag leadership is going to start in the schools at that level. If we can get it into that, they're the future farmers and they're the future consumers. So that's where we've got to really start and get it out, get the message out, what farming is, what we're doing. Like it was mentioned earlier, there's accountants, there's financial advisors. We're not just farmers. We've got a glamping business. We're doing different things every day, and it can be for anybody. So yeah, just keep positive and get the message out there. And I also think to be more professional in what we do is important as well. It's becoming a more professional industry, and we need to be trained to be professional.
Yeah, well said. And can we have the website for your clamping, please? We've got to give that a big shout out.
If you Google the Dandelion Hideaway, and and we'll see you in the summer holidays.
Wow, what a great name. Kendra, what's the success that you want to see for yourself, for Reverberate, for Nuffield, and for all the other courses? Come on, what's the success?
Well, I think for me, I would just really like to know somewhere out there's at least one person that has seen the stuff, all the great stuff going on and hearing all the great conversations and just thinking about these sorts of opportunities a little bit differently and seeing them as being for them. I guess just using myself as an example, a year ago for the first year of Agri-Leadership Week, I was thinking about applying for a Nuffield Farming Scholarship, but I thought, I don't know, I'm not really there in my career yet. I see all these people doing all these great things and I'm not really sure that's me. And during Agri-Leadership Week, there were a lot of people that I looked up to and thought of course they were leaders, and they were talking about this thing called Imposter Syndrome, which is essentially this little voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough. And I think just hearing them talk about that just made me see, oh yeah, that's what's going on in my head. And I do just need to push myself a little bit and step outside my comfort zone. So I think just look, now I'm a Nuffield scholar and now I've done all these other great things in the meantime. And I just want, if we can do one person can change the way they think about all of this, I think that is a good thing.
Yeah, everyone. I don't think Kendra suffers from imposter syndrome. Do you? I don't think she ever had. But Nuffield just needed to give you that nudge, that confidence, and seeing you operate at Llama with the rest of your crew. You're just so on song. Just so that's you and your business and Nuffield giving you that confidence. So again, another fantastic example of how that training development works. Lisa, over to you. What's the success that you want to see for yourself, your organisation, from the Agri-Leadership Week ongoing?
Yeah, I think getting the snapshot studies out there is an absolutely amazing opportunity. I think it's going to give people a real just little step on the ladder. It's going to give people that are not involved in agriculture potentially the opportunity, those in food production or retail or processing, going to give them the opportunity to just have that little taster, that little feel, and then hopefully take those big steps after that. So yeah, I think it's amazing.
Lisa, well done. You're amazing. Mark, someone's just messaged me. Talk about Jamie's farm in respect of Will. So if you remember, Will was saying we've got to get into the schools to do more. Mark, talk about Jamie's farm.
Oh, so yeah, the broadcast with Jamie's farm is a fantastic charity, which, without going into too much detail, think a little bit outside of the box. Don't treat individuals as one, and take them out of the school setting and take them onto farm to develop them and provide positivity. It's those kind of initiatives that we probably need to be looking at. And I suppose for me, adding into what Kendra said, which I completely agree with, we just want someone to make that intention to do something and push themselves out of their comfort zone, utilise the snapshot studies, because we need to spend 40 grand's worth of the Farmers Charitable Trust money. It needs to be all gone by the end of the week. But just for making people to just give it a go, because we all manage and lead on a day-to-day basis, and we need to develop that.
So, Christine, come on, you're going to wrap up for us. So go, Christine.
I think that Agri-Leadership Week is just one of the things that we need to do to build the confidence of the whole industry and people wanting to come into the industry. But if we just focus on Agri-Leadership Week, what do we want to achieve from that? Do you know, I would like at the next meeting for us all to be wondering what we're going to do, because we've been swamped with applicants. And what we don't want is to have lots of people applying and only one or two getting it. We're going to have to work out, how do we expand the training even further in the industry? How do we pull down more money from the Farmers Club Charitable Trust? I want to be swamped with applicants. And I promise you, if we're swamped with applicants, we will all look to expand the training available to people.
And on that basis, are you and the likes of Mark looking for more collaborations? You look at these amazing companies. I'm just going to spotlight myself for what you. Oh, I can't do it. You look at the amazing companies that are involved already. Are you looking for more companies to get involved, to collaborate with everyone else, to be part of this partnership, Christine?
They're welcome. I think we decided we didn't want to have too many people actively involved, because you get too many cooks spoiling the broth. So we got people. We said, "Oh, please be associated with us. Please be associated with us." But we all just want to be pushing it and raising awareness of it, and even just sort of retweeting all the time everything that's coming on. As many organisations that can jump on the back of it and help us do that, the better.
Okay, but a big shout out for all of those partners behind me who've looked to collaborate to create the success of Agri-Leadership Week 2022. Mark, is there anything that you want to say more so with those collaborations, those partners, please? No,
I think definitely what Christine says. We've got a really good steering group that are steering the week, but anyone that would like to get involved, that are involved in this arena, please do so. And the point that all the courses, well, not all of the courses, all the courses we're aware of, within this arena are listed on the CARAS website under What's Right for Me, to just try and again break a barrier to give the individual the opportunity to see what's out there and what is the right program for them to sit on and push themselves forward.
Yeah, and just to wrap up, if you're engaged but you don't know quite how far to go or want to find out more information, Kendra said, as she stated, have a look at online. But the likes of the Llama show that she was assisting with representing, we've got some amazing shows coming up in the way of Groundswell and Cereals. It's all coming towards you. So go and meet people in person. And all of the folk that are on this broadcast today should be there as well. And speaking on their behalf, hope this is okay. I'm sure they'd be very keen to engage with you if you want to find out more from them direct as to their journey and how it's been a benefit to them and their business. Just put out your hand. I'm sure they'd look to engage with you. So everyone, as we wrap up, let's see if this works. We need to know your call signs. On the basis that we, with Agri-Leadership Week, are going to duplicate the success of Top Gun, but for agriculture. But we all need a call sign. So we've already given Kendra the call sign Mav. Will, what's your call sign going to be, please?
Oh, you put me on the spot there. I don't know now.
I'm going to give you Iceman. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to reserve that for Christine, but that's not Christine. Christine, come on. What's your call sign?
I'll just be outsider, I think.
Outsider, but looking in. She's there. Mark, over to you.
Oh God, I have no idea. Cowman.
Cowman, that's right. Lisa, over to you. What's your call sign?
The first thing I look at is my little dog in the basket here, so I'm going to be named after her, Harper.
Oh, excellent. And Chris has already gone. He's had enough. Chris, are you still there?
My camera's froze. Sorry, but yes,
no problem. So from the darkness of where you are, what's your call sign? This is going to be good.
I was going to have to go with probably the fungi for wanting the soil health. There we are.
Excellent, well done. Everyone, thank you for your time today. Everyone watching in live on Beanstalk Global, we can't reiterate this enough. It's so important, this whole element of Agri-Leadership Week. It can really assist the sector in some very turbulent times to make the sector even better for everyone. So engage with hashtag Agri-Leadership Week 2022, not just for this week, but for ongoing, for the long term. Thank you, everyone. You've all been brilliant. Hopefully Christmas lights will turn on at some point in the future. Lisa, well done for getting your internet sorted.
Thank you.
Will, go walk your Rhodesian. Mark, are you milking this weekend?
No, not this weekend. I'm going to the rugby.
Oh,
Queen's Gloucester.
Excellent. Kendra, thank you. We will see you at one of your shows that you're going to be managing. Christine, I don't know how you do this. You're juggling so many plates, but thank you for being on this and representing this whole sector so well. Everyone, thank you for your time. Have a great week.